they jello shots?
Jello.
Yes, Brian.
And then we've got more this morning.
Yes, Brian. 3 different kinds. Are they jello shots in an orange? Oh, man, this is cool stuff.
Let's just do this.
Okay.
Let's just go down the line.
Delish.
So that'll be
Are we
good.
going to do 3 shots in a row right
Yeah,
now?
we have to.
Okay.
There's like barely any alcohol in it.
So talk me through these.
So this one.
This is what you mean by a visual-based podcast.
Yeah, this one here. You guys can see that, right?
This one.
I'm pointing at something. Give me the program.
So the blue shot.
The blue shot. Yeah,
Yeah.
the blue jello shot. No, I'm just trying to remember what kind of jello it was.
Okay.
Let's say lemon.
Okay.
I think that's true.
Sure.
So this is lemon jello.
Yum.
And then I've mixed in blue curacao, obviously.
Yeah. I feel like this is important information.
Yeah. Well, it was a long time ago.
Yesterday.
It was yesterday. This next one,
Yeah.
I think, is lychee
Okay.
jello.
Is it not lychee?
Oh, is it? I don't know. I honestly don't know.
I honestly thought
Really?
the fruit was called lychee.
It might be. I always said lychee.
We say things weird in my
Because
country.
in Chinese it's lychee.
Oh. Chinese. Brian with his Chinese knowledge.
Oh my God. You know what? I don't feel bad about that.
That was the most
You're
Australian
trying.
thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
Oh, well, if the Chinese say it that way, then I guess it's how you say it. Okay, cool. So that's
And then-
lychee.
Yeah, with various alcohols in it, which
Delish.
I've forgotten.
Okay, that's cool.
And then the other one is
This
I
orange slice
hollowed
one.
out a grapefruit, actually.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, tiny
Okay.
grapefruit.
Yum.
And then this is like a peach jello
Yep.
with other various alcohols. I believe
Amazing.
tequila and grenadine and something else. All right, so this is episode 10.
10? Oh my gosh, we're here.
We're here already.
Cheers. Episode 10.
Episode 10, we
I'm
made
so
it.
stoked. How do we
I
get
don't
this
know. I
out?
have no idea. Delightful.
Mine's stuck. I can't go.
I'm gonna fuck it up. Exactly.
Dumb.
Yeah, so you can't even taste
That's
it.
delish.
All right.
Okay, who is?
Second yellow shot.
Cheers.
Oh.
That was much easier. Oh, and stronger. Oh, the reason that was easier to take it is because there was so much more alcohol in that.
That was unpleasant.
There was barely any jello in that one.
Yeah, that wasn't good. It didn't taste very good either. I'll have the
That's all right. Oh, whatever.
Cheers. Okay.
Cheers. Grapefruit. This looks cool. Okay, Brian, you lied about how strong these are. They taste kind of strong.
Good then.
For 3 in a row.
Yeah.
That
but
tastes
I
like
think,
18 on schoolies just trying to get wasted as fast as possible.
oh, yeah, we got to go find someone to date rape later.
Okay.
Yeah, we're
No,
gonna go
that's
out
you. I'm
haze someone.
Haze someone.
We just did fucking jello
We're just
shots.
innocently hazing them by raping them.
Sugar facts, motherfucker.
Okay, so every week, Brian, bar manager, owner, does drinks, and I do food.
Yep.
And so our dinner tonight is specifically prison themed. Yep, it's still recording.
I didn't want to draw
It's still
attention to it.
recording. Okay, so first of all, just because it's at the top of my backpack, seasoning should not be allowed, but it's allowed for us because we're not actually in jail and we should try to enjoy our lives. So that's salt and Parmesan cheese. Should we try to get sponsored by Parmesan cheese?
Sure.
We do love it.
I like
Every
it too.
week.
Which brand, though, I think? I don't think you can just be sponsored by a food type.
We can't just be sponsored by carrots.
Yeah.
Our main dish tonight
Yeah.
is something called Kong Hap, which is something served to prisoners in South Korea. Kong Hap is it Kong Bap. Fuck. I've already fucked it up. Kong Bap.
Yeah.
Kong Bap is a Korean dish consisting of white or brown rice cooked together with one or more varieties of beans. That's it.
Do you think that's going to be enough, though?
That's what I told Coty about dinner.
Yeah, please. Everyone else.
So tonight I cooked rice with soybeans.
Nice.
Normally, a normal recipe also has green beans in it.
Yeah.
Couldn't find them at the shops. We don't shop at the same grocery store because
Green beans.
Green beans. Couldn't find them. Asked.
Like the long green beans.
Yeah. Couldn't. I was trying to find tinned
Oh.
or like peas or something.
Definitely have all that.
Couldn't find it. So instead we've got corn, which I think
Okay.
is delicious anyway.
Sure.
So kongbap has long been a staple of Korean prison food.
Yeah.
The Korean phrase, sorry, let me work on my fluency real quick.
Yeah.
kongbap meokda.
Nailed it.
Thank you.
As far as I know.
Literally means to eat kongbap.
Uh-huh.
Translates colloquially as to be imprisoned. This is similar to a phrase in the UK with the same meaning, to do porridge.
Okay.
Have you heard that expression
porridge.
before? Yeah, to do
porridge.
To do porridge
Really?
means he's in jail.
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'd never heard of that either,
before.
but
Are
I
you
read
sure
that
it's real?
on. Well, in South Korea, kongbak milkda
Uh-huh.
means
That's
to
pretty good.
be imprisoned. Well, it's the high-pitched voice
Yeah,
that makes it sound like Korean. So as a side...
And the slanty eye thing, which I
Oh my
thought
God,
you
I
shouldn't
didn't
have done.
do that.
I thought you shouldn't have done that.
Rumors and lies. I didn't even touch my eyes. So it was meant to be a side dish, but it's actually now 50% of the meal.
Uh-huh.
Is I've also done some turnip.
Turnip. Yep, I like the turnip.
And we got, you like the turnip part, and we got kongbap.
Yeah, which is cool.
And then also a Korean drink,
Dun, 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 dun. What do they drink in Korea? I have no idea.
soy milk.
Oh, soy milk.
Got some soy milk. That's like a standard fare.
Is that a prison thing?
That's a prison thing.
Okay.
I had to go to an actual prison to find this.
You know,
Jug
it's
of-
too bad that... Shouldn't we be doing this from prison? Like
How
that,
fast can we get to prison? You've already been.
I've
You can
been
tell us. So we got soy milk.
Hey!
Hello. Hey, son. Hey,
I thought it
hey.
was going to be like a severe bowl cut.
Really? Well, it's kind of like a bowl cut. We've got food for you.
Okay, we got a lot.
We got so much food.
What the hell is that?
That's
Oh yeah.
dinner.
So this is dinner. So
This is
dinner
your
is
Thank
kongbap, which is a South Korean prison food, which is rice and beans, and then instead of green beans, I put corn in it, sweet corn in it, and then there's turnip on the side because in Chinese prisons they serve turnip and rice and pork fat.
Did you guys introduce your guests? How do these guest things work?
Oh, we just let the people figure it out for themselves.
Okay, well,
No,
just
there's a-
kick us off. I do have a quiz.
We have a quiz.
I have a prison quiz. See, I told you I went really in on the prison
Good,
thing.
yeah.
I am very unprepared for this.
Wow, that is not like how we do it.
Yeah, no, we're always very prepared. No. Sorry that we didn't give you a chance to be
Where's
on.
the nutmeg? We're very prepared. We're very organized.
Where's the nutmeg? Oh, it's cooking in the oven. I think you're gonna like that episode if you listen to it. Oh yes, you can see. So Brian, you've got some frosted martini glasses. Now you're drizzling chocolate sauce. Oh, I saw the Baileys come out.
Oh, sure.
Okay, what are you shaking? Baileys?
Bailey's creme de cacao,
Ugh.
vodka.
Oh, God. It's just once he says anything with Baileys, you just know. All good drinks start with, not even the all good one. The best drinks start with Baileys.
The best drinks. Start with Bailey.
The best drinks start with Baileys.
You just drink
We're
Baileys.
trying to get sponsored with Baileys.
You just drink Baileys.
Say
Is that the shoe?
Say it every...
Come on.
Yeah, exactly. Baileys. Baileys. I think that's how you do it. I think
You have to ask for it
I think
first.
that's how sponsorship works. You just sort of say it enough times.
No, I think that you kind of like have to ask for it, and then they do.
I'm on
That's
it. No,
not
you're
how it
starting to
works.
sound like Brian.
That's not how it works.
I love this little mini grater. It's so cute.
It is adorable.
What else is that used for?
Nothing.
Just chocolate? Like, I can't imagine. You can't grate cheese with
You
that.
could grate nutmeg.
No, okay.
If you
Like
had-
already
cook that
ground
too.
nutmeg.
Just throw it at it.
Like sifting it.
Yeah. You could grate a tiny, tiny mouse.
No, that's
Okay.
disturbing.
Yeah, I fucked it up. I was supposed to put the chocolate. God damn it.
You're a professional.
I just fucking forgot I'm ready for it.
Maybe we could just sprinkle it on top.
Look, don't you have some research?
Yeah.
I don't have anything to do. I'll just criticize.
Yeah. Great.
Do we get
I tried your
cherries?
bag pops,
Do we get cherries with this drink?
So fucking
Yum.
chocolate covered.
Wow, Brian, this looks good. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to
Cody,
Baileys.
Thanks
Welcome,
for
Coty. Thanks
welcome,
for having me.
Cody, and thanks, Baileys.
Yeah.
This is always
Don't
good
worry
fun.
about me, the guy who made the drink.
All right, we won't.
No problem.
Thanks, maraschino cherries. Thanks, plastic sword.
Thanks.
Thanks, martini glass.
Thanks, tiny little shaver thing.
Thanks, electricians who installed the lights in the bar.
Hey, you know what? While we're at it, thanks Thomas Edison for inventing electricity to give us refrigerated cold
Thanks, Mom and
drinks.
Dad.
Thanks.
Giving me birth so I could enjoy this great drink in this wonderful glass. Thanks, guys.
Okay, do you guys want to do a prison
Yeah,
quiz?
let's do it.
Okay.
But we got to do it
Wash this.
the normal way. So, Joe, do you have any sugar facts for this evening?
This is the normal way.
Yeah, but you.
But I had to ask you. Yeah. So, Brian, what's your sugar fact for the week?
Hold on, let me just get it.
Okay, well, while you're at it, why don't I?
Nice.
Yeah, that was a good one. Why don't I?
Let's save that for. We'll do that again in a couple episodes.
Yeah. Keep that up
Bring
our
that one
sleeve.
back.
That's a good
I like
tangent.
that one.
Like some rustling papers or something.
Yeah. Shuffle. As he's getting his sugar fact, I'm going to ask you guys a quiz. That's the grammar I'm sticking
Ask
to.
us a quiz.
I'm going to ask you a quiz.
Hey, Brian.
What's a quiz? Okay, so quick prison quiz.
I feel like this drink just really made us all in a much better
Good mood
Did it
compared to
not?
the one that I
After
forced
that
us
feels
to
like
drink.
getting out of prison.
Why are there so many
Ugh.
fucking riots?
I think
Yeah.
that you should, every prisoner when they get released should have a chocolate martini. waiting
on
for them.
on exit.
Yeah.
Recidivism rates would just plummet.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
Unless it could be a way to
Relapse
get a
rates
free.
would also just automatically.
It could be a way for you to get a free chocolate martini, though.
That's true.
really the
It's
only
like this
reason
guy's
they're in
like
there.
shooting someone in the face. They're like, I'm really sorry. I just really want
I
to.
just want that chocolate
I
martini.
just want
they give
another
you.
chocolate martini.
I'd like to.
Question?
I'd like to hear a question about a quiz.
Would you?
Yeah.
Can I ask you guys a quiz?
Yeah.
Question-
Ask us a quiz.
Question number 1. In Taiwan, the death penalty is always carried out by A, shooting, B, lethal injection, C, hanging.
Do we keep our answers private?
Discuss amongst yourselves.
Well, I know the answer. I was in prison. Oh, you laugh. I know,
Yes, she
I know
does.
the-
Thanks, Brian. Cody's face is just like a picture of confusion. Like, yeah, I am. I'm laughing.
Why would I not?
Okay. Well, what do you think?
What's A?
So then it's just me shooting.
A, shooting. B, lethal injection. C, hanging.
But what's A again?
Shooting.
Yeah.
God damn. Thank you, Brian. I bet you were fun on your quizzes at school.
What's the answer, Joe?
I'm dying to know.
So it's actually kind of, I thought you might pick up on that it seems at first like a trick question. So actually in Taiwan, shooting, the Ministry of Justice's regulations for carrying out executions, aptly named, executions shall be carried out by gunshot or lethal injection.
Or lethal.
Yeah. But in practice, however, all executions are carried out by gunshot.
Gunshots to the back of the head.
Yep. It's shooting a gunshot at close range with a single gun. So we talked about this the other day.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, is it a firing squad? Is it what?
You thought it might have been a bow and arrow at one point.
Yeah, well, you put that into my mouth, but anyway. So the condemned lies face down on a mattress on the floor, which is amazing. It sounds like the only mattress in the prison.
Oh, you think they use the same mattress over and over again?
Well, yeah, it
death
seems gross to
mattress.
shoot someone on a mattress. It's just, do they have to throw the mattress out
That's what I'm
afterwards?
asking.
Ew.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
We're joking about something really gross. So the condemned lies face down on a mattress on the floor, and a medical practitioner marks where his heart is. The prisoner is shot from behind 3 times at close range. For an inmate who has agreed to allow organ harvesting, the condemned lies in a plastic bath and is killed by pistol shot to the back of the head.
God.
Inmates are sedated prior to execution.
Oh, yeah.
Families are not informed about scheduled executions in advance. They learn about the executions afterwards when they are invited to collect the body. Okay, question number 2. Bastoy Prison, located on a Norwegian island, aims to rehabilitate prisoners rather than punish them. To help them be more productive members of a society, Bastoy is set up like a mini village where prisoners wear plain clothes and shop at local grocery stores. How much is their allowance? A, $10, B, $25, B, $85.
$85.
They go to the grocery
10,
store.
20, or 85
Yeah.
per day.
I think it's per week.
Per week, 85.
You're both correct. It's 85. So they live on this mini village. They wear normal clothes and they go to the grocery store. They buy the food and they cook at home.
Not that I am clicking into a lovable, competitive side of my personality right now, but what are the standings?
What do you mean?
I mean, who's winning?
Oh, aren't you both?
She didn't answer the first one, so that's disqualified.
She didn't answer.
She's disqualified. She didn't answer the first one. So
Okay,
I'm ahead by one. I'm ahead by one.
I said
Cody
decapitation
said-
by a dull knife.
Yeah, well, that wasn't even part of.
Okay, so to be fair, I think Cody threw away the first one. Okay, you know what, Brian? It's 2-1. All right.
Is it
It's not
2-1?
about winning.
You both guessed the second question correctly.
I don't care about winning. I just.
You're like making
Important.
bets on the Holocaust
It's
right
important.
now. This is not a good thing.
Wow.
What?
She said that, and it's Max. Keep that in.
Definitely keep that in. I didn't understand it. I'll go back later.
Max is our sound
Figure
guy,
that out.
by
Yeah,
the
we
way.
have a sound guy. Yeah, we have a sound guy.
Max. He never turns up.
We have a
but
sound guy. We have a microphone.
We have a microphone. He's part of the family. What's his name again?
Baby Jones.
Baby Jones. He's broken and Brian's getting him fixed, which in Brian world means he's thinking about how it's broken.
I'm thinking about it.
God damn it, Brian. And I'm the one that hasn't made us famous yet. I'm the bad guy. We don't even have a fucking microphone anymore.
I'm working on it.
Question number 3. One of the largest prisons in the Middle East is in Lebanon, called Romia.
True.
True. Yeah. As of
That counts as her answer.
Okay.
That counts as her answer.
One. That counts as one
Play by the
more
fucking
against
rules.
me.
Can we just try and keep it together for the listeners at home?
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
They might be in a really stressful driving situation. We're taking them where they need to be going. Okay,
Okay, start over. I'm sorry. I want to interrupt.
As of 2017, I'm saying it wrong. I don't speak Arabic. Romia was, which sounds like French.
I think it's
Whatever. We'll go.
French.
Oh, but actually, it's in Lebanon, so it could be
Lebanese.
French.
You just interrupted yourself.
Sorry. As of 2017, Romia was at how percentage-wise over capacity? How much?
Okay, let's try
as a percentage.
Fascinated where this is going.
As a percentage,
Yeah.
what percent is Romia at over capacity?
Okay.
100%, 300%, or 600%?
Oh, I hate these kind of questions.
Yeah.
Where is this?
Lebanon.
Lebanon.
600%.
600% over capacity.
You can't say the same answer as I
I think last time.
That's not how it works.
What was it? So 100%.
To 300% or 600%. Maybe you want to answer B.
I was going to go with that. Yeah.
Yeah. So the answer is she was going to go with it.
Okay.
300% is correct.
Wait, you just.
No, it didn't.
This is totally corrupt. This
No,
is
it's not.
bullshit.
Welcome
I was
to
just gonna
prison.
bribe you too.
Welcome to prison, bitch.
I was just.
She's in my gang. I'm
Some
going to look
money.
after my own.
I was gonna bribe you.
So Romeo Prison is at 300% over capacity.
I don't
Their
care
meals
anymore.
are like.
What's the point?
What's the point? Well, now you're in the system for the rest of your life. Their meals are like naan bread and not
That
naan
bed
bread.
ready.
They have like what bread?
Flatbread.
Flatbread and hummus.
Oh yeah.
Which, to be fair, I would have
Pita.
loved to have. Pita bread and hummus. I would have loved to have hummus tonight.
Yeah. Why
Like
couldn't you have
this.
replicated a Lebanese?
Couldn't find it. Couldn't find hummus. Okay, great job. The score sheet now is 2-2. Question 4. Which country has the highest prison population in the entire world?
United States.
Shut, Brian. A, the US.
Yeah.
B, Brazil. C, China.
Think about that, Cody. There's a lot of people in China.
It's the United States. They have the highest incarceration rate in the entire
Wait. So, repeat the question, could you?
Which country?
Yeah.
Yes, I can. Which country has the highest prison population in the entire world?
I want to say China.
Oh, incarceration rate is different than prison population.
Well, you already said A, so.
And so did you.
So you've changed your answer to China.
Yes.
China has a higher population. Brazil's thrown in there to throw you off.
Yeah.
So it's
What if it was
between
Brazil?
U.S. and China. I'm going to stick with U.S. Drum roll, please.
The answer, ooh.
No, it's okay. It's not.
Oh, something just broke. The answer is the U.S.
Damn it.
Oh, it's
Wait.
so good.
Can I ask you something?
No.
What kind of fucking impartial quiz is this?
What are you talking about?
Judge is cheering one of the contestants.
I'm not a judge. I'm just asking the questions.
Oh,
And impartial, we're both Americans.
No, she clearly is pleased that you got the right answer.
Yeah, because you're being you. You started it by being like, who's winning?
For someone.
I'm Australian. I'm going to go for the underdog. Over 2.2 million people are currently in US prisons or jails. That's more than the entire population of New Mexico. It's also the highest prison population in the entire world.
Yeah.
You were correct about the highest incarceration rate, Coty. The US has the highest prison rate in the world at about 724 people per 100,000.
It's my first and only introduction to this entire podcast.
Is winning this quiz. Well, sorry, we got one more question, so you got a chance to even the score.
Okay, you have a tiebreaker question prepared.
Well, it's 3-2, so it's not really a tiebreaker, but I'm just trying to be accurate. In Mexico, the act of escaping from prison is considered legal because the law recognizes that all people have a fundamental desire to be free. A, true, B, false.
I'm going to say A. I want that to be true. I need that to be true.
All people have a fundamental desire
desire
to be free.
There's no way that's true, but I'm going to say true. Because that's the kind of world I want to live in.
There's no way that's legal.
But it is.
You're answering false? What do you think?
I'm a dreamer.
You're a dreamer. The answer is true. In Mexico...
Dreams win again.
Mate, it's getting better and better, but also it ends badly for you in a second.
Well, that's to be expected.
In Mexico, Belgium, Germany, the Netherlands, and Austria, the philosophy of the law holds that it is human nature to want to escape. In those countries, escapees who do not break any other laws are not charged for anything, and no extra time is added to their sentence.
That's amazing.
However, in Mexico, officers are allowed to shoot prisoners attempting to escape.
Because there's also an equally
How free do you want to be? These guys have responsibilities.
Yeah, and an escape is illegal if violence is used against prison personnel or property, or if prison inmates or officials aid the escape.
Don't you think, though, if you were sentenced to prison, well, you guys wouldn't know what this is like, but I mean, I can tell you.
Tell us more, Brian.
You just think about escape from the very first minute. It's the only thing I would, that's right, if you had like a long sentence.
Yeah, you'd be like, how do I get out of here? Yeah.
And my
it's still longer than yours.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Right, okay.
My jail experience, I was not thinking about escape.
Coty, you've been to jail? Oh my god, I'm such a pussy. Tell us about your jail experience.
Let's send to prison by the end of this night. Drink that galleon. Finish that bottle of galleon.
Down. Go out there and punch someone in the face.
I allegedly did some things.
I was innocent.
Allegedly.
I was innocent too. We're all innocent.
I allegedly did these things.
Wow.
What happened?
Are you happy to talk about this on the podcast?
This is going out live.
It's up to you.
57 people are going to
My experience was I traded my article of clothing for toilet paper.
As you do.
As you do.
One does.
Because she was hoarding it like the bitch she was.
Lean.
So I traded an article of clothing for some toilet paper. The food was like a sandwich and like a little juice box. That was pretty much all you did.
How long? How long were you there for?
3 days.
You two. Brian was in prison for 3 days in the US as well. You guys are so okay, right? Bar's been set. I know what I need to do now. Cool.
Did you have
a prison beau?
No.
That's a great question. That's not what.
Her name was Sheila. She was a big mama, and she kept me safe.
Oh my god, Joe, that was good.
Thank you. Right. Amazing. I love how this has worked out already. It's also great to have Coty here while we're doing the quiz.
Well, that would have been weird, just me.
Just you.
Yeah. Well, then I might have fucking stood a
Brian,
chance.
you get all of these right, or it's the Taiwanese-style execution. And you get to lay on your bed over there.
See what Brian said? He's like, then I might have stood a chance. If it was just him, he might have won the quiz.
Might have.
Actually,
hey guys,
that was the tie.
There was still questionably...
That was a tie.
It was a tie.
We need a tiebreaker. Joe,
well,
do your magic.
Do my magic.
So I don't mean to like trump you, but this totally trumps. This is one of the worst.
Amazing. Come closer to the microphone.
This is the worst prison outbreak in the U.S. history. It happened in the 1976, but there was like this decade preceding this riot that now that they now use these the points that had led up to this as ways to keep prisoners and everyone calm and satisfied with their surroundings, so to speak.
Sounds like they're doing
not
that really
ever
well.
cause this to happen again. So again, it was in 1976, and 10 years prior to that, there were all of these issues.
No, you really have to get right up to that.
No, you don't.
There were all of these issues that were. there was 10 years of this deteriorating prison conditions. So one of the first things that led up to this was there was a cancellation of education programs within this prison. So all the books, everything, all the Bible studies, all the learnings, if you were learning how to write, there are programs in U.S. prisons where you can actually go and finish your college degree in prison. So all of the educational programs were canceled.
Why did they do that? That just seems like such a dick thing to do.
But a big part of it was lack of funding.
Classic.
Another part of it was that they were trying to control the prisoners, as it goes into the next point. Thank you. There was 950 beds, and there were over 1,100 inmates.
Wow.
So
where were the extra inmates living?
they were just stored. They were just overpacked cells. A lot of these inmates, the overpacked cells, they didn't have actual beds. They were just sleeping on the ground.
And this is the 70s. This is
This is
before
70s
the
in New
prison
Mexico.
population exploded.
Yeah.
So, this is before it even got as bad as it is today.
Yeah.
Right.
This is in New Mexico. The other issue that they had was they had this overturn of guards, so they constantly had untrained guards. And because of that, there was these inconsistencies within the policies and really bad communication between officers as well as between officers and inmates. Which means that the inmates didn't trust the officers. The officers were kind of doing things that they really shouldn't have done. They weren't allowed to do that, but they did it anyways that was their last-ditch chance to try and control this overpopulated...
violent stuff?
Yeah, violent stuff.
Do you have any examples or no?
It gets there.
Okay.
So they did this, as they were rioting, they did this in turn back to the prison, back to the officers.
Ooh. They revenge.
But those, because the policies weren't followed... Because the policies weren't followed, again, there were these paralleling trends that they used in other U.S. prison riots to see, okay, this might be happening, so we need to step in. Shit. The other big issue throughout these 10 years was that there were really, really unsanitary conditions. There were rat and mice problems, there were cockroach problems, and because of that, it was causing severe intestinal disease outbreaks within the inmates.
Amongst the rats.
Amongst the inmates.
The rats and cockroaches were
The rats
all
just-
over
There was
the
a lot
prison.
of weird concern.
Rats have got diarrhea in the corner, and Brian's like, this is a civil rights issue.
It will stand for the rats, I shall.
First they came for the rats.
And I said nothing. Then they came for the
They were
cockroaches.
blind.
And I
They
still
didn't
said nothing. And then they came for the rum. Fuck that.
But yeah, so intestinal diseases kind of spread throughout the inmates, and they were the ones with the worst. They were the ones with the worst conditions of it because of they didn't get to go home. They lived in these conditions, and even the guards were quoted saying after this incident and during preluding the actual riot that it was the filthiest institution they had ever been in.
Ew. I mean, if they've all got gastro and vomiting and diarrhea, and then they were overcrowded anyway.
Yeah.
Ew.
Where was this?
This was in New Mexico.
Okay.
In the 70s. The actual riot happened in 1976.
What was the name of the prison? Did you tell us already?
No, I didn't.
Does it matter?
It's not on the quiz. New Mexico State Penitentiary.
Is there another quiz?
Because I'm going to start taking notes.
Yeah.
Okay, New Mexico State Penitentiary.
Yeah.
Okay.
10 years prior to this.
I'm glad you asked that question.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a cool name.
10 years prior to the actual riot, which was in 1980. Then 1976 is when all this stuff was really starting to get documented.
Sorry, did
But
I
then,
just...
but then the officers,
Yes, you did.
so amongst the overcrowding, amongst the people getting really upset about all these things, the officers created what can only be described as the snitching game, which turned internal inmates against each other and created this huge animosity within these already overcrowded cells about who's telling officers what.
Yeah, right.
And it was one of the first documented cases of this snitching game that the officers actually started. And
what are the rules of the snitching game?
The snitching game is you get rewarded. Either extra time out, extra food, potential reduced sentences based on the evaluation of how valuable the information you give of other inmates' crimes to the officers. So again, already overcrowded. Then there's animosity between inmates because of who's saying what about who, and then those inmates in turn getting either extra punishment or these luxuries.
Now, when you say "sang," that sounds like prison lingo.
What? I didn't say saying.
You didn't say "sang"?
No.
I thought you said who's
saying.
Who's saying.
Oh, okay, sorry.
See, now I blame myself because in the beginning I was interjecting a lot and I kind of gave Brian eyes to be like, Brian, get more involved, and you're just asking shitty questions. It's my fault. It's my fault.
I'll slow
Brian,
down.
if you want to take
I'm gonna just take a walk.
If you want to take a back seat on this one, Brian, maybe Coty and I will just chat,
Look. Just mining this shit for some fucking material here.
The first question was, what was the name of the prison? And what is saying? Saying is that prison lingo?
Because when you sing, do you guys not know this?
Yeah,
like
if you're getting tortured, yes.
And so I was just trying to,
good.
have a little moment
Good,
with
thank
prison
you.
lingo.
Good, thank you, Brian. Good.
Can I have the speaking staff back?
No, you can't. I reserve the right to call them in.
Who sacrificed their own pillow feathers? I did.
Yeah. Hey, Killer John, maybe next time you won't fucking hold my head in the toilet when I bring up feathers. When I ask to borrow some feathers from your pillow. Maybe next time it won't be so goddamn humorous. So rape me in the shower.
I'm so sorry about all of this. Please go on.
So even before the riots,
Like a pro.
She's seamless. Yeah.
Jesus.
even before the
Right back on
riots,
that freeway.
there were clear.
Before the riot, they were
Before the riots, there were clear signs that the inmates were getting very, very restless, and they were very much so upset with what was happening around them.
Write down my question.
There's going to be a quiz at the end, and I will allow note-taking.
Oh. Go on.
So even before the riot, there was a couple years where the inmates were clearly upset with just the conditions that were going on around them. One of the things they did was they had strikes. They refused to work on their jobs. And when they were asked why, all the inmates would say it's about the poor conditions. So it wasn't necessarily that they were like, fuck those guards, fuck those people, fuck that inmate. It wasn't anything about the inmates. It was just, I can't live like this. Yeah. This is inhumane, what's going on. So they would completely strike and almost shut down everything that was happening in the prisons. They refused to make food. They refused to wash clothes. They refused to bring things out. They refused to do just the basic jobs that keep prisons running. Right. So there were strikes constantly happening. The other one, which was actually with the last two, so there was all these other little things that were happening, but the last two, which were huge, was that before the actual riot, they smuggled in tear gas and tear gassed the officers before the actual riot.
Wait, before? It wasn't even the real riot.
No, this is before. So one, think about how they got tear gas in.
I'm so sorry. Brian is writing on a piece. I'm getting to it. Brian wrote on a piece of paper because I made fun of him for asking questions. Brian very aggressively wrote down a question that I was supposed to ask you. And just showed it to me on the side here. And then it was one of the best prison jobs. Because you said they stopped doing their jobs, and then you moved on to tear gas, and it wasn't the right time to ask the question, and then now Brian is very loudly and aggressively scratching out the question, saying, "Okay, fine."
The best prison jobs are making food and anything with clothing.
Brian, you can talk.
You get perks, like you get extra food.
Oh, okay, sorry. Brian's now doing his own prison strike where he's decided not to talk. Give me that. Just engage with intelligence. That's all I was saying.
Okay, I'll try. I'll do the best that I can with the limited tools at my disposal.
Typically, the best prison jobs are anything with food or clothes.
Thank you. Was that so hard?
This is going on the Instagram for sure.
And I feel like it added to it. You know what I mean? Now we know.
You have to.
This is what I do. I put myself in the passenger seat. Okay?
Yeah.
You're the driver.
This is why you have to listen to 14 hours. And edit into a single.
Exactly.
I put myself in the passenger seat. You're the driver. No one is questioning that. But occasionally, it's like, oh, look.
You like to grab the steering wheel and jerk it around a little bit.
Oh, no. It's just like, oh, did you see that they're selling peaches over there?
No, I didn't. I'm looking at the street signs.
Should we stop for peaches?
I'm going to have some more soy milk.
Let's come to that.
Oh, it's come to that. I'm settling in for the long run here. Jesus Christ.
Well, go on.
I just want to say I'm looking at a new house at 9:30 tomorrow, so we have to be finished before then. That's all I'll say.
Well, that does seem reasonable.
9:30 a.m., not p.m., okay?
Yeah.
So, yeah, we've got about little over 12 hours.
Perfect.
Do you reckon we're going to make it?
It's early.
Depends on him. At this point, it really he's the game changer.
Don't let me hold you up.
So, yes, they won.
Sorry, Brian. Brian has this like OCD thing where he has to keep checking.
Talk about it.
He's always checking if it's still recording.
Oh, good news it is.
Oh, thank God. You know what? It always is. It never not records.
Thank God.
Oh, and your batteries are like full charge, so it's not going to stop.
Oh, that's never a problem.
Unlike me, I'm always like airplane mode. I'm like, okay, I've got 7%. I've got to try and get through my script. Sorry, this is very good. This is very good.
So the strikes, smuggling in tear gas, gassing the officers. I just wanted
it's fucking crazy.
How they got tear gas?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I also
how they smuggled it in.
Well, I mean, I like that they probably I've watched Orange Is the New Black, so I know that stuff happens, and so they do still smuggle anything in. They get drugs, weapons, phones, but they like used up the space of like a drug space. And they're like, fuck it, replace it with tear gas.
We don't need heroin.
Yeah. We're going to go off the heroin for a week, and we're going to get tear gas instead. That sounds like a good combination.
Are big, right?
And that's going to be way more expensive.
Yeah.
The anal cavity required for that smuggling is impressive.
Right?
Well, that's just porn star level.
Yeah. They've got and there's like a hook too. There's like there's a handle.
Are you not detonating someone? No.
Are you thinking about grenades now?
I am,
okay.
I am absolutely thinking about grenades.
There's that little pin that comes out, and then 3 seconds later, the tear gas goes.
Let's get them, boys!
They skunked them.
Prison riots done. The prisoners thought they were throwing tear gas.
Once again, Brian is like the most valuable member of the gang.
Hey guys, don't worry. I got a connection with tear gas. I can get us a shit ton of tear gas.
Cool, Brian. That's actually the coolest thing you've actually offered us.
Well, I'm glad you guys didn't kill me earlier in the week.
Brian, these are literally grenades. We're incels. These are useless to us.
No, they're not. Check it out. Look. We'll drop one in the toilet.
Cover your face with a wet sheet. You'll be fine. Oh, sorry. So this is even before the riots even started.
This is before the craziness. Wow. This is just like everything leading up to it. And everyone thought like, oh, it's just bad prisoners. If you're a prison, of course it's going to be bad. And all of this happened before the crazy shit broke out. They took over this entire prison. They took 12 officers hostage. Throughout the entire thing, 33 inmates died. 200 were severely injured.
No, you ask the question in real terms.
Oh, come on. I just wanted to snap in your ear.
Nice lull.
So to see how annoyed I can make it.
Stuck in.
No, go ahead. How did they die? Sorry, how did they die?
You splashed water on us.
How did they die? Answer me that. Factoids.
Most of them died as a result of them trying to regain control of the prison.
No.
So 33 inmates died and 200 were injured. Most prisoners were involved in this riot.
Yeah.
12 officers were taken hostage. None of them were killed.
The hostages.
None of the 12 officer hostages were killed.
Good.
7 were reportedly severely beaten and raped.
Ooh, they were raped. Fuck.
It's not the most romantic setting.
Rape's not romantic, right? What the fuck? What the fuck? No, it's like, no one. It's never like, oh, I was raped, but at least there was candles and the fucking petals on the bed.
Fair enough. You make a compelling point.
Shit, dude.
So not only after the riot, so that was like the riot. Yes, the riots broke out within the prisoners.
All right.
But then for a year and a half after, there were still continued disturbances. After the riots, about 100 prisoners were still considered hostages amongst these gangs.
Oh, wow.
Ew.
Well, technically, they're all hostages of the state.
That's true, Brian. Thank you.
Can you guys see me up here?
Well,
cheers.
hey.
Good job, Coty.
Cody, that
exactly
was so
what
good.
is required. And now we know about the new
And you prepared that, like, since arriving.
Yeah.
You're so good. That was really good.
Okay.
Okay, quiz time. Get your pieces of paper and your pencils out, kids.
Yep, okay. You
Pen?
got me? Yep, pen. Paper. There's going to be marks on the paper.
That's how aggressively you scribbled. I mean, I knew the answer.
I just gave up trying to understand.
So I literally said this
Oh, no, I don't need that.
like 10 times.
Good.
Okay.
I was listening. The New Jersey Facility for Prisoners. Is that the answer?
What year did the riot happen?
Oh, God
no.
damn it.
I don't know.
I said this
I
over
totally remember.
and over and over
Got
and
it.
over.
Got it.
I got it. No, I got it.
I got
I ripped it in half.
it. I'm confident.
Me too.
You're both wrong, but you both put the same answer. That's beautiful.
Oh.
Hey, we're idiots together.
1976 is when they started noticing the issues and they did nothing about it. It was a whole 10 years prior to 1980.
What?
So we both said 1976. The riot happened in 1986?
1980.
Oh.
And when all the
When do you consider the riot starting? Because I feel like the riot started when conditions were bad.
No, that was when the protest started,
Yeah.
and then the 3 things that...
It just depends on how you define.
Okay, Brian.
The riot
We
was
both got it
February
wrong.
2nd and 3rd in
Let's start.
1980.
Okay, next question.
Yeah. Ask a real one this time.
Brian!
Ask a real
Stop
one.
attacking our guest.
What is wrong with you? She came all the way from across the street. She made us banana bread.
This one has
She
many.
did make
This
us
one has
banana
many
bread.
correct answers.
Oh, God.
Oh, well, that's
my
gonna be
favorite.
easy to
What
get
were
right.
one of the many issues with the deteriorating prison conditions?
Oh, I'm so glad I asked those questions.
Food sucked is not one of them.
What? Wait.
Rats with diarrhea.
Diarrhea rats.
And I don't know how to spell diarrhea, so I just
How
put
did you
so
spell it?
many E's in there.
Diarrhea.
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 No one knows how to
Nobody
spell
knows how to spell that
diarrhea.
word.
There's 2 L's in here.
You gotta cover all your bases.
I'm
Throw
going
a
to go
Z
with
in
the
there.
Spanish pronunciation of ya. Diarrhea.
Diarrhea. So rats with diarrhea.
Not the
wrong?
right answer.
Also wrong.
That's
Okay.
right.
The food?
That's right.
No, the food? I thought the food.
No,
They didn't have an issue with the food.
They-
It was the... So they went on
Here
strike
we go,
and they
go.
stopped making food.
Okay, so the food sucked because it didn't exist.
They had horrible conditions.
Brian, they were striking already because of the conditions.
Right.
Overcrowding would have been an instant win.
Overcrowding,
Like, why-
cancellation.
I wanted to make
Obviously.
I wanted to make a joke. I was happy to throw that away.
So there was a cancellation of
Sorry,
educational programs, overcrowding, untrained guards,
Oh,
unsanitary
yeah.
conditions.
Oh,
Untrained guards led to the snitching.
Snitching game.
They insinuated the snitching game.
The snitching game. Yeah.
Fuck. All right, last
Unsanitary
question.
conditions from rats and cockroaches causing severe intestinal diseases to
Last
break
question.
out.
Last question. Let's go. Let's do this.
Last question. Stop talking. Last question. I'm ready.
We're so ready.
What were some of the pre-riots?
What the hell does that mean? What kind of a question is that?
What were some of the pre-riots?
What were some of the pre-riots?
So things that happened that the guards tried to do to make their situation better prior to having to
I got it.
go to such
Wait, that feels like a
hostile
different question.
situations.
Too late. You already turned your answer in.
No. Because mine counts as a pre-riot.
The pre-riot. What are some of the things they tried to do to get their
different question?
to get their circumstances?
You asked what the pre-riots were.
Yeah. What were some of the pre-riots? What did they try and do?
I think I'm still
prior to
right.
rioting.
I think I'm still right.
What did they try and do prior to rioting? The tear gas incident. Correct.
Yeah.
Motherfucker. Canceled letters from podcasters.
That's gonna make people fucking lose their shit. You know it. I know. We all
Way
know
more
it.
than diarrhea rats.
Yeah.
Diarrhea LL.
Wait,
Do I win? I win on the tear gas.
What was the tear gas incident?
Tear gas.
Well, that was good stuff.
Damn it, Coty. That was so good.
Good stuff.
Well done. This is a story, a true story, about the Fremantle prison riot in Western Australia. It's a very famous prison riot. So the Fremantle prison riot was a prison riot that occurred on 4th of January 1988 at Fremantle Prison in Western Australia. The riot was organised. So this is one theory as for why it was organised, as a diversion for an escape that was to take place. Prisoners created a fire as part of the diversion, and temperatures inside the cells were recorded at 52 degrees Celsius, which is 126 degrees Fahrenheit. So this prison had like 4 divisions, and 3 divisions were like the normal bad guys, 4th division was like super bad guys. 3 and 4 division were...
Not the kind of caves, though.
Pardon?
Not the kind of caves.
No, not those bad guys. 3 and 4 division were taken over by a total of 70 prisoners, and 5 officers were taken hostage. The fire caused $1.8 million in damage and unintentionally prevented the planned escape.
Yeah, because they
Australians! Yeah, exactly.
We didn't think this one through, guys.
So it's been suggested, it's only one theory. One theory says, it's basically the media said that the fire, they planned to escape and the fire was set to distract the escape, but then there's another reason for the riot, which I actually find more convincing, but we'll get to that. It was suggested that the riot and fire was staged as a diversion by 12 men, including Brendan Abbott, to assist a mass escape from the prison.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah?
I don't think that she should be allowed to take notes.
Is she taking notes? Baby girl, take your phone down. No. Brian, you were that guy in high school. My God.
I was totally kidding.
I
had no idea
that
you were actually
she was actually taking
notes. I thought that was a funny little thing.
Me too. I thought she was like reading up on her story.
Yeah.
No, she was actually taking notes.
On this story.
That's
There's a quiz at the end of this.
Oh my God.
Who goes to class and does not take notes?
That's so cute. That's only cute. During the 2 weeks prior to the riot, prisoners collected 3 liters of fuel from lawnmowers. Do you guys call them lawnmowers?
Yes.
You know what that is?
Sure.
Which they managed to conceal. Lawnmowers? I don't know. I'm just
Let's
trying to
think of an alternate name for them, though. Like a
grass cutters.
Grass cutters, yeah.
Green covers.
Yeah, but if it's Australian, though, it should be.
Yeah.
It has to end in that to me.
Bushwhackers.
Yes.
Bushwhackers. No,
Yeah, I think
Bushwhacking.
that's already a thing.
Like
We already
racial
have something
slur.
called
Lonnies.
bushwhackers.
Lonnies. That's what it'd be.
Okay, yeah, you guys are really good Australians. So some history on the prison. Fremantle Prison was built using convict labour during the 1850s and was used as the maximum security prison for male offenders in Western Australia. During the 1890s, the size of the cells were doubled by removing an adjoining walls between 2 cells. But the conditions in the cells remained unchanged except for lighting and basic toilet facilities. Toilet facilities is a stretch. They had buckets. They never had facilities.
Really?
Yeah.
A bucket.
Yeah. The prison population was divided into 4 divisions, 3 division housing violent prisoners and 4 division housing murderers and those serving long-term sentences. So 1 or 2 hours.
Yeah.
That kind of vibe. Rough. Those were the real bad guys.
What is the suicide rate when you get sentenced to that long?
I couldn't tell you right now. The morning of the riot began as an ordinary day would, with the cells unlocked at 7 a.m. There was a, quote, scuffle between a prisoner and guards over the time taken to leave his cell, resulting in that prisoner being sent to solitary confinement. But that was not particularly unusual. Later that morning, the prisoner was released into the exercise yard, where he reported to his fellow prisoners that he had been beaten by the prison officers. The prisoners then requested a meeting with the superintendent, but this was denied. The prisoner, though, was approved for a medical examination. The incident added to growing tension among the prisoners from the heat wave experienced over the past week, with the conditions inside the prisons like ovens or a sauna. They didn't have air conditioner or anything. Despite the heat, officers decided prisoners should remain outside in the exercise yards in the afternoon to settle the tension. The decision did not have the intended calming effect, instead allowing prison ringleaders to spread discontentment and plan for a riot, including starting a fire and taking hostages. That's the setup. At 4 p.m. It's too hot. Everyone's angry, and then the guy gets beaten up that morning, apparently.
By the guards.
So they're pissed, and they're hot. They're hot and they're pissed. As Division 3 prisoners were led inside at around 4 p.m., a voice exclaimed, "Let's take him!" And simultaneously, guards were splashed with boiling water, usually used for making teas. A horde of prisoners stormed the cell block, attacking the guards with whatever they could find: metal plates, cutlery, food, pieces of timber, buckets, water bottles, anything.
I feel like the boiling water, though, is just like
that's pretty
karma.
savage.
Karma.
Yeah, they're all considered like metaphorical. We're boiling ourselves, so let's boil them.
Yeah, they basically took the vats. They had like the food trolleys and stuff, so they had the big thermoses of hot water, and they just chucked them on the guards, which is pretty savage. The result was pandemonium. Prisoners rushed along landings, overpowering officers and taking them hostage, while at the same time other prisoners darted between cells, starting fires. The prisoners withdrew to the exercise yard, taking 6 hostages, as flames quickly overran the building, spread to the rafters, and caused the roof to collapse. The prisoners then surrounded their hostages and were in turn besieged by an armed riot squad inside the prison, and the police encircled the prison. Skilled police negotiators communicated with the ringleaders, and by nightfall, only 5 hostages remained. A 6th officer was supposed to have been kept, but was released as he was seriously injured. Meanwhile, the fire brigade had trouble bringing the fire in the main cell block under control. The prison's gate was too narrow for their trucks to pass, so they had to water the flames from outside, and prisoners impeded their work by chucking debris at them, including segments of asbestos roofing.
That takes a long time to kill you, though.
That's true.
Like if they were trying to like give them whatever.
Yeah, they're like, let's keep the riot going. Let's give them all lung cancer in the long term. Good pickup, Brian. Yeah. You should have been a ringleader, because you would have been like, guys, asbestos is not. Take too long. It's not like a now weapon. Like I'm thinking more sharp rocks, heavy things.
Let's make them eat lead paint, and then watch for the next 20 years while they slowly deteriorate.
Oh,
fucking guards! Fuck the police!
Fuck the police! But these guys are firemen and objectively the good guys. Right, yeah, fuck these guys.
Eventually, there was never a song that was "fuck the firemen." That's not a thing. Right?
They're like universally adored in every country. Yes. Eventually, firemen were allowed inside to fight the fire after prison officers with riot gear had stormed through a secondary group of prisoners, forcing them back along the wall. The prison leaders made 3 demands. 1, a meeting with the Attorney General. 2, access to the media. And 3, a guarantee of no retribution afterward. They're like, it's all right. Haven't you heard about Mexico? Actually, that's about escape.
That's not how they do it in Mexico, guys.
Yeah, guys, in Mexico, they'd be fine with this. Negotiations continued throughout the night, with the prisoners holding out for 19 hours. The next morning, the hostages were released, one at a time, traded for food and cigarettes. even though
Dude.
though only the
Poor
third
man.
demand had been met. Yeah, it's bad
And
negotiation.
all the
third
12
one?
guys were
No
like, well, we're not
retribution.
getting out, guys. So,
Yeah.
So wait,
maybe
so they
we're just gonna get
traded
sandwiches
They're like,
their
well,
valuable,
exactly.
valuable hostages
For food and
for
cigarettes.
cigarettes. I mean, cigarettes I could get. Remember
they
the
just,
Nick
wanted, they just wanted like a sandwich and some cigarettes and call it an even.
Mm.
Jesus, all right.
That's right.
Well, I guess if you are the
plan
type of
failed.
person whose decisions have landed you in prison,
Yeah.
we can't expect
Maybe all
much.
you want.
The thing
And
about
if you're
prisons-
eating this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think they were getting rice, but they probably
Let's hope they traded them
they-
for better food than this.
yeah, for like McDonald's or
Well, I
something.
mean, the idea
Yeah.
behind prisons as well is to make you feel like you're less of a human.
Right.
And the freedom to smoke a cigarette
Yeah.
and have decent food.
I'll go on. The prisoners did, however, have an opportunity to communicate with the press during the siege, as the riot was a live media event. Television helicopters were filming from overhead, and prisoners were able to write messages on sheets with charcoal. One of the hostages believed that the media nearly got them all killed, as the close approach of incoming aircraft caused other prisoners to panic, thinking that special forces were being deployed. Okay, the aftermath.
Mhm.
So in the end, they negotiate it down. They get their cigarettes and their food. Although there were no deaths, the fire caused almost $2 million Australian in damage, which is pretty similar to US dollars. And officers were injured. Whoa, Jesus
Sorry,
Christ.
cockroach. It was a cockroach.
Oh, my God.
I got it.
Well, this goes into what I was about to say. Officers were injured physically, and some developed PTSD. In the aftermath of the riot, there was extensive media attention on Fremantle Prison, and investigative journalists uncovered that warnings had been given to prison authorities. The government hastily initiated an inquiry into the incident, and a report was completed within 6 weeks. The report suggested that little evidence supported the escape plan theory that was common in the media, but that the riot was largely the result of an incident that morning involving the mistreatment of a prisoner and his subsequent release into the yard. A trial involving 33 prisoners charged over the riot was also held. The trial cost over $3 million, involved 19 lawyers, and as of 2003 is the largest, this is the most recent information, is the largest trial held in the state's history. Prisoners escorted under armed guard gave evidence from behind specially installed glass. The whole affair was described as a, quote, Max, cut that out, it's embarrassing. The whole affair was described as a, quote, circus, especially after one prisoner protested by appearing naked.
Excellent.
Yeah, he gave his evidence completely naked. The trial resulted in extended sentences for the prisoners, and the 12 ringleaders were given 6 years cumulative with their current sentences, and the other 21 were given 3 years cumulative with their current sentences. One ringleader, the Brendan Abbott guy, successfully escaped from Fremantle Prison in late November 1989 and spent nearly 5.5 years on the run before finally being caught in Surfers Paradise in late March 1995. Although the prison was mostly all repaired, it was only another 3 years before the last prisoner walked out of Fremantle Prison, and the building has now been turned into one of the state's most unique tourist attractions.
Kind of like Alcatraz.
Kind of, yeah.
Joe?
I'm looking up how he escapes.
Creative prison escapes?
I'm
that
looking
should
up
be
how
a-
he
that should be an
escapes.
episode.
Theoretically, how
Creative
creative
prison
would this?
I did already suggest prison escapes. That's why prison riots came up.
I don't remember.
Okay, do you want to know about Brendan Abbott?
What do you do?
Okay, Brendan James Abbott is a convicted Australian bank robber. Oh, you love this
fuck
guy.
Yeah, that's awesome.
He is reported to have stolen and hidden millions of dollars and was dubbed the postcard bandit
He
by
even
police.
had a name.
Yeah.
They gave him a fucking name.
Yeah, I knew.
The postcard
you'd love
bandit.
this
Why was he
guy.
called the postcard bandit?
He was, so he was then, so once they caught him, he was then put into a maximum security prison in Queensland before being transferred in 2016 to Western Australia. He will be eligible for parole in 2026.
Oh my god, I just thought of a great thing. I just thought of an amazing thing.
Yeah?
let's write him. No, I'm not even
Fuck
kidding.
it.
Let's write him and send him the podcast. Can we do that?
Yeah, why not?
Because he didn't kill anybody, right?
Let me just double check.
Let's check that. If all he did was rob a bank.
Okay. I'm going to do a real thing about Abbott right now. Abbott is recognized. You're going to love him. Abbott is recognized as a highly intelligent criminal and a minor genius with a strong reliance on memory and observational skills to carry out his criminal activities. Dude, he's your favorite person ever. He used his knowledge and self-taught skills to makeup to create convincing disguises, computers to create false IDs, and electronics to dodge alarms and police.
Okay, well, now I'm nervous. I hope he likes it. I hope he likes it.
Well, if he doesn't listen to the inaugural podcast, I might think you're right.
Oh, shit.
Weeks were spent...
I deserve that.
No. Weeks were spent he's not going to like me because I can't fucking speak. Weeks were spent methodologically...
Dude, he's been in prison for like 20 years.
That's true, but also for me being like, God, I hope this prisoner likes me. So he spent weeks planning each bank robbery, including observing the staff, identifying weaknesses in security, patterns of behavior, and the layout of the premises. Police officers who have interviewed Abbott have stated he is always probing for information on how he was caught or what the police know about him. He used his understanding of police methodology and intelligence gathering to successfully avoid capture during his time as an escapee.
It's amazing. I'm being serious. Should we?
Let's write him a letter.
Okay.
Of course. We'll draft it next week.
Okay. Ooh, I want to write that down. I can listen to it.
I'll write it down. It's literally. It doesn't say that he killed anybody.
Okay, good.
He basically he successfully stole $11,200.
Not even a crime.
Not even a crime. From the banks. I mean, the
That's
banks, the banks have gotten that much from me in just fees, ATM fees.
The movie with Leonardo DiCaprio, Catch Me If You Can, was loosely based on this guy.
Oh, is that right?
I'm making that up, but it fits the story, right?
Mate, you're going to lose your shit about how he escaped.
Oh, it's good, right?
Yeah. On 24th of November 1989, Abbott dressed in a false uniform. He created fake prison guard uniforms in the prison.
Made 'em.
He just made a fake prison guard uniform.
There you go.
So in November, he dressed in the false uniform, cut through the bars in the workshop, and gained access to the guard's walkway and made his way across the rooftop and out of the prison grounds. This escape earned Abbott his lifelong notoriety as a criminal genius and ultimately led to his permanent and erroneous branding as the postcard bandit.
Oh my God.
In the almost 150-year history Fremantle Prison was operational, Brendan Abbott is the only prisoner to escape and never return.
That's so fucking cool.
Yeah, he is.
Hey, hold on.
Yeah?
So
Is there a way we can bring him in as like some sort of contributor, because he's got nothing to do.
Right. Can we get him to maybe he can tell us some stuff.
Yeah, tell us stuff, or like he could be. Should he be like the marketing guy?
Fuck you. I will get us famous.
No. I haven't thought that far ahead. I'm just saying.
God damn it.
In the event that you're incapable of fulfilling your duty.
Can I go on, please?
Are we done with this?
No.
There's still more for Brendan.
There's more on Brendan.
I already know what the first line should be in our letter.
What?
Even if you had killed a bunch of people, we still love you. We're glad you didn't.
Brackets, that's Brian, not Joe saying that. So he was on the run for 5 years.
Yeah.
Then he was captured again.
Right.
Less than 3 years after his recapture, Brendan Abbott escaped with 4 other prisoners from Sir David Longland Prison in Queensland using angel wire, which is diamond-encrusted wire, smuggled into the prison to cut through the bars in their cells. The escapees made it to the perimeter sensor fence where they were thrown bolt cutters by an accomplice, which was like one of the other prisoners who had been released in September. Right. Uncharacteristically for Abbott, his escape from that prison involved actual force rather than implied threat of force. While cutting through the sensor fencing, the alarm was raised. And they shot on a patrol vehicle, basically.
But they didn't hit anybody.
No. Okay. And the offenders alleged that this occurred in panic.
Everyone
They didn't
panics,
plan it.
Brendan, everyone panics from time to time. We forgive you.
So, yeah. And then he was on the run then for another 6 months
That's amazing.
before he got caught again.
You know what I love though is the idea that like we strike up like this bizarre.
Oh my God,
like,
I
friendship
even
with this
kind
guy.
of feel like I'm keen, like,
Right?
you know, what a cool dude.
But it's so funny though, and like this is how it's gonna work though. We're gonna strike up this like pen pal thing.
He's got a nice face too. He's not. He doesn't look like a big
it's
bad
fine,
guy.
it's
He just
fine.
looks like a regular Australian dude.
But this is what's gonna happen.
We'll put it on Instagram. You guys can tell us what you
Kind
think.
of
We're
like
gonna-
a dad thing.
Yeah, he's got like a
going
dad
on,
thing.
too.
He doesn't look like a
never had
pedophile.
No.
He's
How
just
dare
kind of
you.
like a smart.
Don't besmirch Brendan's name like that. But here's the fun part. Like we're gonna like form this relationship with this guy, right? Over the years, and then
Yeah.
he's gonna eventually get let out, and then he's gonna come.
He'll come
he's gonna
here.
Totally scam us like out of everything.
Oh my God! And you know what? I don't have anything to give him, but
No,
you've
that's
got
true.
an entire bar.
Yeah. It'll end up being.
You'll
like,
accidentally just
Brendan's
give him the
bar.
whole bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
He'll-
somehow going to end up married to him.
No, I was
Inevitably.
I was gonna say he'll steal moves. Like they'll like he'll take my wife and my bar, and then I'll be like on the streets. I'll be like,
And
God,
you'll be the side chick.
God damn it, fucking Joe! I told you we shouldn't have written this guy. I think if you'll
And
find if we
Julie,
go
it's
back
not
in the
that, Ryan.
records.
He's got a good heart.
You'll be like reduced to just drinking this from a paper bag on the beach on Doolan
I knew we
Beach,
shouldn't have written this fucking guy. He's a criminal. What did we expect?
and I'll be like, but at least you got Baby Jones fixed, and we can still do the podcast, right, Brian?
Yeah.
You got him fixed by now, right?
I'm thinking about it. It's clipping. I still think
At
it might be
least
the
you
clipping.
still have the podcast.
At least we still have the podcast. All I need is my podcast and my broken
he
microphone.
can't take that from us. And then, like, cut scene, he's walking down the beach toward us,
With Baby Jones.
and then that film just
With
ends.
Baby Jones.
He's fixed. He's fixed, Baby Jones.
I love you, Brandon. You're so cool. Those guys weren't dorks.
Max, get the copyright
yeah,
rights.
yeah.
Max, get them.
Get the copyright.
Get the copyrights to that script. That's fucking funny. Let's write a letter to him next week.
Do you really want to? I really, really want to
What
do
have we got to lose?
this. Is the kind of thing that makes
What have we got to lose?
news. Like this is
Life.
how.
Your life.
I guess you never killed me.
You know, he just a bank robber.
Let's see if we can instigate it.
I'm gonna look into what it's gonna take to write a letter to him, but why not?
This is the kind of viral, crazy shit you need to do, man.
Okay, but then again, it's not going to come out for a few weeks. Like, this episode won't be published for a few weeks. So we've got some time to prepare. So by the time this comes out, maybe
Yeah.
we've written a
We will
letter.
have already probably written a letter. Send it to him.
We surely.
Ryan's drafting as soon as he goes home.
I already know it. Yeah.
Bring a draft next week if you want, and I'll bring a draft next week, and we'll combine them.
It'll be good.
I'll have my laptop.
Oh, that's a great idea. That's a good project. Write a letter to Prison Brendan.
So are you
Prison
ready?
Brendan.
So, Cody, what's your sugar fact?
What's my fun sugar fact? Oh, here's a fun sugar factory. Female dragonflies, if they receive unwanted advances from other male dragonflies,
Mhm.
they will play dead to avoid mating.
Okay. Hold on a second.
This is an
So,
hour
see, it's
long
got-
podcast.
So, it's a really good fact. That's a really good. You know what? Save that for our dragonfly
Do
podcast.
they strap sugar cubes?
Okay, I
to
have
their
another one.
back?
I have another one. Okay,
It's
I'm
got to be
sorry.
about sugar.
Maybe that was out of context.
No, it's
Maybe
got to
that
be
was
about sugar.
about sugar.
Keep it in, Max.
It
Keep
would-
it in.
Okay. Here, this one's about Sugar Factory. If you
Again.
Just anything to do with sugar.
Yeah.
Wait till you
Fair
get to
enough,
mine.
fair enough.
Yeah, go.
booby trap spelt backwards is party boob.
No, is it? What?
Again, is it sugar related?
Or factory related?
Booby trap spelt backwards. is party
Booby
boob.
trap.
Party boob.
Trap.
Party boob.
Party. It is, isn't it?
Literally.
Okay.
Wow.
That's
Party
good.
boob. That's again. It's not about sugar though.
All right.
Can you make it about sugar?
Sorry, here's another one.
Is there a way to...
Beet sugar? Is
Yep.
what you
That
guys
counts.
heard of
What do you know about
That
beet
counts.
sugar, Bob?
Have
It's
you got?
all beet sugar.
By the way, this is Bob. He's joined us
By the way, Bub's walked in. Bub,
with a startling fact about
beet sugar.
sugar. What do you know about beet sugar?
Beet
Well,
sugar.
apparently it's all beets.
It's all beets.
It's all beets.
What about
Like if you buy the cheap bag of sugar at the supermarket, it's beet sugar.
If you buy the expensive bag of sugar at the supermarket.
It might be cane sugar.
sugar?
Maybe.
Backtrack.
So there you go. That's Bob with a sugar fact, everyone.
Every
All
bag
right.
of sugar you buy is
All right.
beet
Well,
sugar.
while Cody looks up her sugar
Unless
facts,
it's not.
I'll do mine.
Okay.
It will explicitly say
Will it say?
from cane.
Really?
If it's
Oh, pure cane sugar. CNH. Pure cane sugar from Hawaii. This is
Okay. No one had
I
the
grew
same
up in
upbringing
Hawaii.
as you.
I
All right. So Pruno, or prison wine, is an alcoholic beverage that cannot be made without sugar. As well as you might put apples, oranges, fruit juice, hard candy, high fructose syrup, and possibly other ingredients, including crumbled bread.
Crumbled bread?
Yeah, the bread,
yeast.
gives it the yeast for it to ferment. The concoction can be made using only a plastic bag, hot running water, and a towel or sock to conceal the pulp during fermentation. The end result has been colorfully described as bile-flavored wine cooler, although flavor is not often the primary objective.
Never makes the commercials, does it?
No, it doesn't. The bile bit?
The bile part.
No. They never advertise that bit.
Here's a
Marketing.
question.
I'm not done.
Okay,
Depending on the time spent fermenting, which is always balanced against the risk of discovery by officers, the sugar content, and the quality of the ingredients and preparation, Pruno's alcohol content by volume can range from as low as 2%, equivalent to a very weak beer, or as high as 14%, equivalent to a strong wine.
Okay. Here's my question, though.
Hit me.
Do they have a label maker in these prisons?
No, because they haven't had you in their gang.
Well, okay. Good sugar fact, Joe. Cody?
Thank you.
Do you have another fact about dinosaurs or sponges?
Ryan, what's sugar? While this actual sugar factory was up and running, Taiwan was ranked the 4th provider in cane sugar in the entire world.
Wow.
Like the song says, CNH, pure cane sugar.
The song's not resonating
From
with listeners.
Hawaii.
Max,
no,
cut that
song.
out.
I didn't make it up. It's a real song.
I know, but it's not resonating.
Going into
Max,
the sun.
just cut all of this out, Max.
It's from Hawaii.
No one. Okay, we get it. You grew up in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Some of the time.
All right.
So,
well, good sugar fact, Cody. Finally.
God, that was the best one so far.
Well, it was the only one.
Mine was about sugar.
No, hers only one.
Brian, what's your sugar fact?
I'm gonna do it by memory. Hey, you guys plagued by roaches?
No.
God damn it. Well then, never mind.
Yes, we are. I am.
Okay.
Actually, I have a whole.
No, let's be serious.
I'm thinking
let's
about.
be serious,
a riot.
guys. Why is that red light flashing?
I don't know, because you got notifications.
Wait, this is your podcast?
Yeah, dude.
He edits it. He takes
Max,
hours.
Max edits.
Max
Max
edits it.
Who's Max?
Our sound
He's
guy.
our sound guy.
No.
We met him the first.
Max is related to Steve.
Anyway, let's not get into the genealogy of imaginary people.
I don't know why you'd bring up imaginary people this time.
Hey, you guys plagued by roaches?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want a quick, fun solution how to get rid of them?
Yep.
Please tell me more.
Okay, here's what you do. Sugar. And-
Borax.
Well, okay. Or baking soda. Also works.
Sugar and baking soda.
Mix that shit up. Put it where the roaches like to hang out.
And now you've got an ad problem.
I'd rather have ants than roaches.
Not me.
I would much rather
You've
have
never
ants
been
than
bit
roaches.
No.
by a cockroach.
I have.
You've been bit
I have.
by a cockroach.
I routinely get bit by roaches.
Is that what I sometimes get bites from? I thought it was spiders.
They
Do
like
I get little bumps?
They like skin oil. Roaches are into skin oil.
That is the weirdest combination of words.
Skin oil.
Skin oil. It's like what have we got? What have we got in the kitchen here? We got olive oil. There's the coconut oil. We got the skin oil.
Look, there's always oil to be had. What kind of oil? Skin oil. Hey, Bob, you want some scrambled eggs this morning?
Yeah.
But
Hey,
Cody,
you know what?
we've run out of olive oil. We didn't get any at the Carrefour.
Oh shit.
Don't worry, Bob. I've got skin oil.
Oh god. All right.
Just like Mom used to make.
Just like.
So anyway,
it tastes like chow.
In Hawaii.
Yeah.
Hawaii.
Oh, did you grow up in
I
Hawaii?
grew up in Hawaii, yeah. We
Wow.
ate pure cane sugar,
Wow.
grown in the sun, from Hawaii.
That's
Going
why
in the
you'll never
sun.
die.
That's why
Okay, stop trying to make
part of
this
it.
song a thing.
Well, there would have been a thing if we just tried a little harder. Like the monitor.
The talking stick is moving.
Say it. Say what you're going to say.
I brought prison dessert.
Yes.
So, I don't know if you guys have heard about the documentary Orange is the New Black. In the show, you will know that, what's the crazy character? Suzanne. She has a penchant.
Oh yeah, what's her little thing?
Pudding.
Oh, is it pudding? Oh, yes!
Suzanne pudding for dessert.
Awesome. Let's eat it with fingers.
Joe Brian, you guys want a spoon? There's a couple back.
I think I would love this spoon.
I'm going to power through this.
I would.
If you were tiny,
If the
tiny
question
child,
is, do I want to
tiny,
make my
tiny.
life better? The answer is yes. Thank you, Coty. That was lovely. See, now I can get to the stuff in the bottom.
I can't wait till I get to that part.
I said spoon. I said spoon.
This is how Brian's psyche works. He's like, I will not back down.
I'm not stopping. I'm saying this to be bitter at.
You know what?
Oh, right. Right back to the down shirt. Body pudding now.
Brian's psyche is that we'll be impressed with it.
For sure.
No, everyone's going to be impressed by my staying power.
I think. You know what made that better?
What?
Skin oil. Look away.
Look away.
Look away.
You know what that made? That's a quote that's going on. It's going somewhere. You know what that made that better? Skin oil.
Good job, guys.
Leave them dipped in there.
Yeah. Because now they're fucking full of pudding. Where else am I going to put them? This is the best one.
Back in your mouth.
No, I got to talk. I'm doing a podcast, Bob. I'm doing a podcast. I'm a professional. Whatever.
This is slowly deteriorating.
Whatever.
Oh God. Shit. Did you say your sugar fat? What was it?
It's about the roaches.
Oh my God.
Hey, you got a roach problem?
Yeah, no, I remember the opening line. You said it like 5 times.
I wanted to nail it.
All right, well, everyone, this has been Sugar Facts.
This is Sugar Facts
Episode 10. Thanks, Coty. I was like, to the opening of the table. This has been Sugar Facts, Episode 10. Suicide Notes.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. And Brian, where can they find us?
Podcast Central.
Yeah, we're on Podcast Central. Yeah.
Not on YouTube. Don't try there.
Don't try that until we figure out how to get rid of the cussing.
Which we're not even sure is a requirement, but...
So Podcast Central, also Comedy Bean.
Comedy Bean, yep. What about that last one that we just added?
Fun Time?
Fun Time. Yeah,
Fun
yeah.
Time.
Find us on Fun Time, and we'll be there. Thanks for listening, guys. Waiting for you.
Somewhat impatiently.
But we got pudding to keep us occupied in the meantime.
Well, not much left, though.
Yeah.
Good call on the pudding. Prison pudding, Suzanne.
Thanks, Suzanne. Suzanne Pudding. Signing off now. And as always,
Like us in real life.
that's it. Like us in real life.
Like us in real life.
Thank you.
No, just keep it going.
It's in real life.
Let's keep it going. What are you doing? What are you doing?
I don't know. It's been crazy. Yeah, that's our sign off.
It's good.
Yeah, like us in real life. Yeah, we thought that too. We thought that was pretty good.
Pretty much everything we do, we think
Pretty
is
much
amazing.
everything we do at high five, we were about like fucking yes.
Amazing. How did we come up with that?
Nice.
Like us in real life.
Okay, you two crazy kids. I think I'm gonna head back now.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for joining.
Yeah.
Oh, that fucking avocado was amazing, by the way.
With you put it on the
I did.
mac and cheese.
I
It
did.
was good.
It was pretty good. You know what I liked about it? It was like the hot and the cold contrast because I put the avocado in the fridge overnight. And then I made the mac and cheese, and then I sliced it up into the hot. What the fuck is that look?
I killed it earlier.
What the fuck is that look?
That's why it's out there.
What the hell is that? Oh my god! You know what? I'm doing this podcast by myself. What the fuck, man?
I'm sorry. I'm so mean. So mean.
What the fuck?
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
my god! Fucking Christ.
It was this. It was, and you know what it was? Yeah. It was all.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. It's so boring.
It was one of those situations where you're like, Brian, beat the room.
You know what it was? Let me tell you, it was fascinating.
And the body language couldn't have been more less ready for a story like that.
Right, she's literally walking away.
Let me stop you right there.
It was a contrast.
Oh, God.
Fuck you. Fuck you, Joe, alright? You know what? Next time you have a fun story to tell.
It wasn't fun. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Oh, man. I've got that thing again where my scalp hurts. I'm laughing so much.
Right. Alright, well, good job, Joe. As always. I want to say this because I was such a fucking asshole, right? I just want this on the record. I want this on the record. It's going to take just a second. You're fucking hilarious, Joe. You're absolutely hilarious.
This was such a good one.